Welcome to the Hilton Head Livin podcast. I'm your host, O.T. Gibbons. Our mission with all of our content is to make sure you have the best time in Hilton Head. All the best places to go, all the biggest events going on, and everything you need to know to get the most out of your time on the island. On this episode of the podcast, we're going to be covering things to do this weekend in Hilton Head. We're going to be talking about our favorite new thing that we tried last week. And as always, we're going to answer the people. But we are trying something a little bit different this week. We are filming outside. So in a couple weeks, we're going to be shooting an in-person podcast at Sweet Owls. The last week of February, we're going to be doing our big March monthly events podcast from Sweet Owls. We're going to be sitting outside. So we figured it's a beautiful day. We might as well try it at our own home, give it a little test run, see how it goes. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're outside today.
I'm still in awe that it's February and I'm in a t-shirt and you're in shorts. Like it's still, I feel like I don't get over that.
No, it's crazy. It's so nice outside.
It's beautiful.
It's crazy. So yeah, with that, let's get into what's going on this weekend in Hilton Head. So Jess, what's happening this weekend in Hilton Head?
Carolina Jasmine, which is located on the north side of the island in the Main Street Village Shopping Center, is having a Galentine's Day event on the 13th from 10 to 6 p.m. And there will be a coffee tastings and chocolate pairing with the Hilton Head Coffee Roasters from 1 to 2:30, which sounds delicious. Count me in for that. And then there will also be skin consultations and facial demonstrations from 3 to 6 p.m. along with specials and discounts all day long. The bank will be hosting a rockin' roast on the 15th from 1 to 4 p.m. And it's all you can eat: oysters, chili, cornbread, and sweet potato pie. And the proceeds help benefit the Hilton Head Island High School's musical production of Grease. And therefore, 50s attire is encouraged, and there is a costume contest and a prize for the winner who has the best costume. The annual Hilton Head Seafood Festival kicks off on Wednesday the 19th with Asado by the Sea at the Beach House. And you can get tickets and the whole event schedule on the Seafood Festival's website.
All right, that's everything happening this weekend in Hilton Head. Let's talk about our favorite new thing that we tried last week. So Jess, what was your favorite new thing that you tried last week?
I went to Benny's Coastal Kitchen, which I have been upstairs at the outdoor bar, which we love. We start off there with a drink, but the menu is different than inside. So this is my first time eating inside. And I got the seafood pot pie, or shellfish pot pie, was delicious. And a chocolate cake for dessert. And I would highly recommend. It's both menus now. I have eaten upstairs also is wonderful. And again, you can always stop upstairs before or after your dinner. Always, it's on Skull Creek there. So gorgeous sunset, of course, and beautiful view, and the vibes are fun. It's kind of like a nautical upscale, a little bit. I don't know about upscale, but it has like a nautical vibe to it. So it is very cool and would definitely recommend. They opened, I think it's been almost a year, because I think it was like last spring.
Yeah.
Last
that
spring that they opened up. So yeah, maybe they'll have something for like a 1-year anniversary coming up.
I still have not been.
And it's funny because it's like down the street from where we live too, so we'll definitely have to go when it's nice weather.
Yeah, super weird that I've never been, but we just love Boathouse, and I guess it comes up before we actually get there.
Boathouse is closer to us than, even though it's just right down the street.
But that's really no excuse. I really need to go there, I'm sure. I love seafood, and I'm sure it's amazing.
And it's owned by Benny's, the seafood market that we go to all the time. So it's owned by Benny's Seafood and the Crab Group.
Yeah, and we love the Benny's Seafood Market is amazing, and the new spot they have is so cool.
And what about you?
So Drew and I, my brother and I, are on a mission. We used to be scratch golfers, good tournament golfers, and for the last couple of months, we've just decided we're going to be good again. Drew had a kid in July. I had a shoulder surgery 1.5 years ago. I'm healthy. Kid's doing really well. And we just decided 2025, we're going to be good at golf again. So we have been seeking out every golf instructor known to man, Joe Plecker, Tim Cook locally, and we actually went down to Orlando this past week to go check out Ian Mellor. Forgive me if I'm saying Ian's last name wrong, but it's Mellor. He's out of Orlando, Florida. He's working out of Orange Lake Country Club, and he uses something called the Bull 3D system. It's really hard to describe, but you basically get strapped up like you're in an EA Sports video game with all these different markers on your body, and they measure every aspect of what you're doing in your golf swing. It is unbelievable. Can't recommend it enough if you're trying to really get better. So we went and we checked that out. The videos will be coming there. The outfit does look ridiculous, but it does show you all the little things you're doing in your swing, how you can possibly improve different things. And Ian is amazing. We've also met Mark Bull, the inventor of this equipment, who's also a brilliant, brilliant guy. They work with some of the best players in the world. So shout out Ian. We'll have some more content coming on that and just our journey to trying to get back to being good golfers again. So it was a really fun trip.
It sounds kind of like biomechanics then.
Yes.
Like how they have you the little suit on. It's like how your muscles work with your swing kind of thing.
Well, and like just to get really nerdy on the golf swing, like using, like, does your left arm move out towards the ball in your takeaway? Early extension is where your hips move towards the ball is a big issue for average golfers and something that professionals do not do. And it's very hard to measure that with the eye. Mm-hmm. And so this thing is actually measuring that in real time. And it's very cool. And then the other thing we did that I actually completely forgotten about till now is we played night golf.
Oh yeah, you sent me a little video.
Yeah, it was 9:30 at night, pitch black, and I think it's called the Legends at Orange Lakes. It's a part of the Holiday Inn at Orange Lakes resort that we stayed at. They had a par 3 9-hole course. Again, the videos are sick. They're so cool. We'll have that up very soon, but that was a really fun experience and really can't recommend kind of Orange Lakes, Orlando enough. It was really, really fun. Had a great weekend.
Yeah, we've been to Orlando before. It wasn't to play golf. We actually did like Universal Studios and we did like the Animal Kingdom and had a lot of fun.
All right, and so with that, we are going to answer the people. And the question we've been getting asked most often is about the beaches in Hilton Head Island. So, Jess, let's talk about the beaches, beach access, and parking for people on Hilton Head Island.
Let's start on the south side of the island. So we'll start at the Sea Pines Beach Club. Yes, you have to get into Sea Pines, but a lot of people are staying there. And you can always pay to get through the gate. The parking, you had told me, I guess, from like the end of March to the beginning of September.
From March 23rd to September 2nd, the first 50 spots are open to guests, and then the remaining 108 spots are for Sea Pines residents or resort residents. And then there's also at Lot 8, which I guess is at the Circle by Fraser's, there is a parking lot you can park in, and there's a shuttle that runs to and from the parking lot from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in that same March 22nd to September 2nd window.
Which that's extremely helpful because it's like I thought that only people that lived in Sea Pines, so Sea Pines residents, could park there, was my understanding. It was like you had to have the parking pass and stuff, like your license plate. So that's really good to know. And if you haven't been there, it's really neat. They have a couple little like beach shops and restaurants. There's Coast that's there that you eat basically on the beach, and they have a little to-go bar too, and they have upstairs is the Ocean Lounge, which is a little bit more fine dining, but gorgeous for a date night. And then they have like a little market too that you can easily get a hot dog or something at. And a lot of times during the summer, they have live music, a guy playing live music outside. Kids are dancing everywhere, and it's just great beach access.
But if you're someone thinking about coming and staying at Sea Pines, renting an Airbnb or a VRBO, what most people do is they will ride their bikes. They will take a beach wagon, attached to the back of the bike, ride their bikes up. There's a million bike parking, like a million bike parking spots. Or if you're staying somewhere in Sea Pines, often it's like less than half a mile walk. So you can also walk up there and have beach access and access to these restaurants. So if you are staying in Sea Pines, renting one of the many, many vacation spots there, you really don't need to drive to it. If you're just coming for the day and you want to get through the gate and you're looking for that parking, that might be where you would use some of the parking spots and things like that.
And then we'll move over to Coligny Beach, which the parking for that is a little bit further away from the beach. It's basically in between the beach and Low Country Celebration Park. But there is a lot of parking for sure. And they're making even more too, like where Enchiladas and the old wing place, apparently they're turning those into beach parking also. And it is free parking. And there is a little drop-off section right at the beginning of the beach area. And then the beach access itself is pretty cool. It's really fun to sit out there. Bathrooms, like a lot of bathrooms there. They have little swings you can sit out on or little Adirondack chairs.
They really have redone that entire area in the last 2 years or so. The whole Coligny walk is really nice and new. They've got swings and benches and bathrooms. And then the Tiki Hut, which is next to it, has also been completely redone. So that whole area is a super nice walk up to the beach.
And something that's super unique about the Coligny Beach entrance is they have a little splash pad for kids. So when the weather is warmer, in the winter it's not on, but in the summer there's like tons of water coming out of the ground and kids are just kind of running around. And so it's a little alternative to a pool per se if you're tired of the beach.
Well, and if you're a guest and you're driving in and you're dropping people off and they have to wait for you, it's not like there's nothing there for them to do while then you take the car, go find parking and walk up. They can wait for you, they can sit down, they can play in the fountains, like there's stuff to do right there. So it is really cool.
And there is a free little trolley, with air quotes, because it's more of a large golf cart. And you really just have to see, there's a number on the front of it. I've tried searching it, and just the Breeze comes up, which the Breeze bus just have stops where one of them is at Coligny Beach Plaza. But there is a free little golf cart that if you see it, there's a number on the front and you can call that. But that's also probably the most popular beach too. So it definitely gets crowded.
And when you're at Coligny Beach, you've got the shops at Coligny Plaza. You've got the shops right there, like right as you come out, right next to the beach. There's some restaurants to eat at. There's some stores to shop at. There's what's the Pool Bar Gyms is right there. There's really a lot of stuff right there. Of all the places, Sea Pines Beach Club and Coligny Plaza have the most stuff kind of right there around them for you to eat, go do, really has that beach boardwalk kind of vibe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely other stuff going on besides just the beach, which most of the other beaches, it's kind of just the beach. So we'll move just up the street from Coligny is Adler Beach, which the parking is a little interesting because it is in a church parking lot. And I believe it's metered too. So there aren't that many spots. And you do have to cross over the street. And there's like a little boardwalk path that goes to the beach. And it is where Loggerhead's Beach Bar is too. And there are no bathrooms besides at Loggerhead's. But there aren't officially beach kind of bathrooms. Or there might be a little spray thing too for your feet, the water spray for your feet there. I don't remember that exactly.
What else you got?
Moving up to about mid-island, we'll start with Burke's Beach, which there's a lot of parking there because it's right at Chaplin Park. So there's huge fields, playground, tennis courts, and basketball court, and pickleball. We saw people playing that there too. It is, again, a little further away from the beach, although there is a beach drop-off spot, and they have a little path to walk to the beach. Going up just a little bit more, you have Dresden Beach, which has a lot of parking, but it is metered parking. So Berks Beach was free parking. Dresden is metered.
And Dresden has a playground right there. Dresden Beach does have a bit of a boardwalk that you have to take. It's a decent walk from the parking lot to the beach. Probably the longest walk of all of the beaches from the parking lot to the beach. But tons of parking, playground, pretty easy to access, right in the middle of the island.
Yeah, it has a lot of parking, and I think it's one of the few that has vending machines.
Yes, it does.
So they also have bathrooms, and I think a vending machine too.
Yes.
So that's nice. Going up just a little bit more, you have Folly Beach, which is probably has the smallest parking lot. It's like a little L shape. It's not very big. It was the first beach that we went to because we got free parking with where we lived. And we thought that's how the parking was with all the other beaches. And then we went to the other beaches and we're like, whoa, there's so much more parking.
Yes, yes, it's not even close. Dresden and Berks Beach, much, much larger parking lots, for sure.
But they do have bathrooms and they have a little wash and water fountains there too.
And we like to take the dogs there because our dogs go crazy on the boardwalk, and it's one of the shorter walks from the parking lot to the beach. So that's usually where we end up taking the dogs.
And it's a little more residential around it, is like houses and stuff too. So I think it's a lot of the people that are staying there or living there that go to that beach. And up the street from them a little bit is Islanders Beach, where that is mainly for residential. It's residential parking, but they do have, I think it's like 30 metered spots to the side. That also has a playground area and it is probably less crowded also. And lastly, the most northern is Fish Hall Beach, which that is free parking, lots of parking, bathrooms. The beach itself is a little more, I'd say, wildernessy.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different for sure. It's more like
wilderness. Like there's a little
shells.
There's shells, there's grass. It can be a little more buggy. But if you go at very low tide, it's really, really cool. It's like miles of no water. The water is just so far out and you can walk so far out. There might be little puddles, but it's really, really neat. It's definitely different than the other beaches.
And we're doing the best we can to describe these beaches, but if you really want to see them and really see what we're talking about, you can go check out our YouTube video on our YouTube channel, Hilton Head Livin, and we've got a full ultimate beach guide to everything about the beaches in Hilton Head Island.